Hey everyone, welcome to the Anime Kingdom discussion and review. This one is on Chapter 7 of RWBY Volume 3, and holy crap, finally we are back. If you notice, I didn't make a review video on the last World of Remnant. I didn't think I really needed to, and no one really fully showed that they liked those review videos on those ones, so if you do, feel free to comment below and tell me, so the next one I will do. But yeah, I didn't do it. I can make a brief description of what happened. It was pretty much to talk about the CCT thing, and it's kind of like foreshadowing what could happen since they hacked them hacked the CCT, and probably when something happens they're gonna take down that one, which will take down communication between all the kingdoms. So yeah, it's kind of foreshadowing what could happen. It's a possibility that what it looks like is going to happen. But yeah, let's talk about this episode. Really great episode. It's been like 2 weeks since we have an episode, since one of the weeks was there was some type of stream that they had, and then the last one before that was the World of Remnant. So finally, it's a new year, so happy New Year's, guys. And that also means RWBY is back, so that's good. This episode was actually really good. Like, a lot of suspense, the tension was high, just learning all about Cinder and her plans and how everything came up to this point. It was actually really dang interesting. It was really cool. I loved the different looks that they all had. Cinder's looked, man, Cinder looks beautiful no matter what. That's all I gotta say. Emerald also had a different look. Mercury still looked the same, but yeah, it was pretty cool and interesting to learn about the backstory of how Cinder got Emerald. We saw her figure out how Emerald stole this one jewel, and then she ended up going with her. Then how they found Mercury. They were actually looking for his dad, Marcus Black, I think, a famous assassin, to which we end up seeing Mercury kill him, and his legs are all bloody. And we find out later on, we see in another fight when they're fighting the Fall Maiden, and also at the end, is that he has robot legs. So the whole thing with Yang, obviously we saw at the end, was a ruse. They orchestrated this whole thing. Obviously we find out as well that Emerald can use illusions as long as she's close by, and that's how she got Yang, and that's how we saw the illusion when they were fighting Coco and stuff too. So finally, that question is answered. Emerald has that crazy, she has an illusion ability. So yeah, thanks for, it's cool to learn that. It's also cool how we saw how Cinder pretty much intimidated Adam into working with them. At first it wasn't, it didn't work. We also see that Blake was also there. I guess she didn't see them clearly, because obviously she would know next time she sees them, But yeah, we see that at first Adam did reject her until she came back, pretty much forced his hand, intimidating him, and that's how Adam and the White Fang end up working with Cinder, pretty much working for Cinder in a way. It looks like she gave him, money and dust and all that kind of stuff. But we all know that he's probably just like Roman, in the way he doesn't know what her plan is and everything. I love the way they had like the multiple voices in the black screen, kind of talking about what happened throughout, the seasons and everything, and pretty much showing what's going on in between with everyone and how Cinder got everyone. It was really dramatic, suspenseful, and like I said before, it was like the whole episode was pretty tense, just seeing what is going to happen next. What is Cinder doing? That, and then we also get to see them finally attack, how they defeated the Fall Maiden, which is a pretty cool dang battle, seeing all of them, and getting to see Cinder's weapons more in like, we saw her using a bow, and then in this one we saw her using dual swords, but it's actually her dual swords turns into a bow, and it's really nice weapons. It looks really good. I love just her whole look back then. She looks great now, but her whole look back then was pretty dang cool. It was cool. But yeah, they beat the Fall Maiden, and she has some type of glove that has like a bug grim that sucked the life force out. I'm not too sure. Maybe we'll get more in on that later on. But that was pretty interesting to see that maybe that's a new type of grim that we have not, learned about yet. Maybe no one really knows about that yet either. I don't know, because though she did look like she knew what it was, so I don't know. Maybe we'll learn more about that later. But that was pretty interesting. Like, the glove fused with her hand after she took half the power as well when Crow did come. But what doesn't make sense is why Crow, he got there, he saw them how come when he sees his niece is fighting and stuff, he doesn't recognize Mercury and Emerald? I don't know. That's a little weird. I know he's always drunk and all, but what the heck's up with that? He should have recognized them. So that's kind of a loophole, or maybe he didn't get a good sight on them, but he did see Cinder, but Cinder is changing her look and everything, and she wasn't really in the fight. So I don't know. That's kind of like a little weird thing. That's like, I don't know if they did that on purpose or not, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he should know that who the enemy is, But yeah, we get to see all that. We get to see them finally intimidate, like I said, Adam before, and get him to work. And then of course we do get to see the whole part with Yang attacking Mercury, which was an illusion orchestrated by Emerald, and they get everything planned out. And it now looks like Mercury's gonna go kind of like on the back foot, and Cinder and Emerald has some type of other plan they have in motion. And it also showed that a bunch of Grimm, like we saw before, are heading towards Vale, and they're asking for any huntsman or anyone to help. So that's probably going to be something big in the next episode. And honestly, this episode did a really good job of getting us back in to, after the 2-week break, getting us back into this, showing everything like a kind of a backstory in a way. We didn't really get back into that main story, but we got the backstory of Cinder and how everything progressed on her side into what's gone into now, and what's going to happen, possibly in the future with the whole CCT tower, foreshadowing of the last one, all the Grimm coming to attack. Cinder has some type of plan that she's with Emerald going to be doing the next step in their plan. And yeah, honestly, I cannot wait for the next episode to see what's going to happen to Yang, what is Cinder's plan, what are they going to do about the Grimm, and just like so many things. Like, it's really got me like happy that RWBY is back, and I just can't wait for the next episode. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say, guys. Really incredible episode. I love the way they portrayed everything, how they made this episode into really such a suspenseful episode, learning everything about Cinder and everything, and of course how everything progressed to this point. It was really interesting. I really got into it, and can't wait to see the next episode. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And until next time, guys. See ya.